This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 23rd day of July in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Now here's what we're tracking tonight. A National Judges Forum on HIV, Human Rights and the Law opened today at the Marriott Hotel, with judicial officers being urged to protect the rights of people living with HIV. The forum was organized by the Judicial Education Institute of Guyana in partnership with the Judicial Education Institute of Trinidad and Tobago and the United Nations Development Program. The UNDP resident representative in Guyana, Gerardo Noto, said the intersection of HIV, human rights, and the law is a critical arena where justice and public health converge. Noto said despite remarkable progress being made in the fight against HIV, the world continues to witness challenges that require collective action and unwavering commitment to address stigma, discrimination, and legal barriers that hinder the rights and dignity of people living with HIV.
The evidence is clear. The more protective and enabling the legal and policy environment of a country, the lower the HIV prevalence and the more people are accessing healthcare services, including HIV prevention, testing, and treatment services. Therefore, the 2021 Political Declaration on HIV and AIDS, Ending Inequalities and Getting on Track to End AIDS by 2030 affirms UN member states' commitment to ensure that by 2025, less than 10% of countries would have punitive legal and policy environments that deny or limit access to services. Less than 10% of people living with HIV and key population would experience stigma and discrimination. And less than 10% of women, girls, people living with HIV and key population would experience gender inequality and violence.
It was also noted that national policies must be more inclusive for persons living with HIV. The UNDP official added that the judiciary has a pivotal role to play in shaping the legal landscape in the protection and the upholding of human rights, particularly in the case of vulnerable populations who continue to face stigma and discrimination. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said at the end of last year, the prevalence of HIV in the Caribbean was 1.2%. with the stats showing higher levels of prevalence among key populations, such as transgender individuals, men who have sex with men, people in prison, and sex workers. He said while the region fights to bring the numbers down, it is confronted by the fact that some countries still have laws that foster stigma and discrimination.
In many of our jurisdictions, we still have laws that I would say foster stigma and discrimination. And when we look back at the origin of these laws, it goes back to our colonial past. And in those, like in the UK, for example, many of those laws have since been repealed. New laws have been put in place that are more enabling. We in the Caribbean and in parts of Africa, we still maintain those old obsolete colonial laws.
Dr. Anthony said by addressing outdated legislation, the region can make even greater progress. According to the health minister, as it is right now, 85% of the persons who are living with HIV in the Caribbean know their status. And of that percentage, 83% of them are on antiretroviral therapy, while 87% of those on antiretroviral therapy have achieved viral suppression. In Guyana, 94% of the persons living with HIV know their status, but only 72% of those persons are on treatment, while some 87% are virally suppressed. The health minister said a significant part of the problem is stigma and discrimination. High Court Judge of Trinidad and Tobago, Justice Avazon Quinlan Williams, said access to justice and equality before the law is critical. However, the fear of stigma and discrimination continues to pose a major challenge.
If citizens fear discrimination to the extent of not approaching the courts to enforce their rights, civil, criminal, whatever it is, then it means that we do not have the opportunity to treat citizens equally. But we also have to prepare ourselves that when we are called upon to adjudicate on matters where members of key populations or persons living with HIV, whatever is the dispute. We have to prepare ourselves that we are not moved by history, our religious beliefs, issues of ignorance of scientific issues concerning HIV and AIDS and related matters.
Justice Williams said persons living with HIV must be reassured that they would not be discriminated against or denied justice. An acting chancellor of the local judiciary, Justice Janet Cummings, said in Guyana the Constitution guarantees the protection of law and equality of treatment to all, and those principles must be upheld.
And therefore the delivery of justice to everyone in Guyana must accompany those constitutional imperatives. Equality of treatment for all is integral to our role as judicial officers. And hence the importance of this discussion, particularly as it relates to stigma and discrimination, and not only the lack of persons not only coming before us to have their cases ventilated, but we also see in the medical field there are persons who are ashamed to go to the health facilities for treatment. So it is wide-ranging.
The Chancellor said the forum provides an opportunity for judicial officers to sharpen their knowledge in the application of the law. Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George was among officials present at the opening of today's forum, which sets the stage for the Regional Caribbean Judges Forum, which is set to take place later this year. More news coming up in just a moment.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Are you looking for the best high school education at affordable fees? Then register your child today at the VYC Academy. Now enrolling grades 7, 8, 9, and 10 students for the 2024-2025 academic year. VYC Academy, achieving academic excellence. For more information, call us on 227-1013 or WhatsApp us at 649-1300.
Calling all small to large scale businesses. The International Building Expo 2024 is coming to the National Stadium from August 8th to 11th, 2024. Whether you're a small business or a major player, there's a package for you starting as low as $20,000. Network with industry leaders, boost your brand visibility, and generate high quality sales leads. Register now at www.buildingexpo.gy. That's www.buildingexpo.gy. Or call 592-635-1103 or 592-635-1104.
Oh no, oh, welcome to Building Expo. Oh, yeah, oh.
Jam, hello we jam and jam up. Hello we jam, hello we jam and jam up. Beat it like a fan.
Former chairman of the Police Service Commission and retired Assistant Commissioner of Police Paul Slow has indicated that the allegations of corruption that have been leveled against some members of the top brass of the police force has no precedence and therefore should be properly investigated. Slow said the public image of the Guyana police force has been brought into disrepute over the last few years, with senior officers demonstrating that they are not fit for purpose. He said while allegations of corruption have long been directed to the police from junior to senior ranks, the recent claims involving reports of millions of dollars being carried around by senior ranks have never before made its way to Ivlery, the seat of the force's top brass.
There has never been, as far as I know, any serious allegation of financial or other impropriety apart from the greed incident involving the top people in the force. So it's an unprecedented allegation, serious allegation, and therefore perhaps we need to have unprecedented measures to make sure that it is properly investigated.
Mr. Slow said there must be a proper independent investigation into the allegations, lest the force risk being plagued with corrupt individuals, which can ultimately destroy the police force and hinder its work. According to the retired senior officer, he does not believe any serious investigation into the allegations can be done by the Special Organized Crime Unit.
If you really want a proper investigation, send for independent people, perhaps ask the FBI. The government has been saying that they have a good relationship with the US. Well then, ask the US to conduct, the FBI to conduct. Ask people from Scotland Yard in the United Kingdom to conduct. Ask the mounted police, Canadian mounted police to conduct. And I believe that once that is done, then people are going to have confidence in whatever the outcome is. But to ask a unit from the Guyana Police Force to investigate these senior people, I mean, I believe that if they were junior persons, that maybe, yes, they might do a proper investigation. But when you're talking about an investigation that touches on, or is likely to touch on the most senior man in the force, and the man who was de facto the second most senior, I don't have any confidence that any unit in the police force or in Guyana can properly investigate such a matter.
On Monday, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce issued a call for an independent investigation to be carried out into the corruption allegations against senior officers of the police force. Last week, Vice President Barrett Jagdeo threw his weight behind Soku conducting the probe, saying that he believes it will be properly done. Let's tell you now that the government of Guyana has signed a $45 million agreement with the World Bank for the Coastal Adaptation and Resilience Project, which seeks to ramp up efforts to strengthen Guyana's flood adaptation and resilience. The project will see the rehabilitation or complete replacement of more than 45 cocos and sluices across the country to enhance flood risk management. At the signing ceremony, Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh noted that the government has been ramping up investment to address the strengthening, expansion, and rehabilitation of the country's drainage and irrigation infrastructure, not only for the agriculture sector, but also to protect citizens and their properties. And Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa said that the project is in keeping with the government's vision for the enhancement of the drainage and irrigation infrastructure. World Bank Group representative for Guyana and Suriname, Deletta Doretti, said the project is also a critical component of Guyana's low-carbon development strategy and aligns well with the country's broader vision for climate resilience. Under Component 1 of the project, the rehabilitation and replacement of cocos will benefit an estimated population of 320,000 people and assist in protecting more than 130 square kilometers of urbanized area and 1,270 square kilometers of agricultural land in the connected catchments. Under Component 2, the investments will continue to enhance the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority's capacity and capability to manage and operate drainage infrastructure assets and apply flood risk management principles in the planning of new developments. The project marks the latest and the second largest investment to date, being financed through the Guyana Red Plus Investment Fund, established by the government in keeping with the Guyana-Norway partnership under the original low-carbon development strategy.
Are you looking for the best high school education at affordable fees? Then register your child today at the VYC Academy. Now enrolling grades 7, 8, 9, and 10 students for the 2024-2025 academic year. VYC Academy, achieving academic excellence. For more information, call us on 227-1013 or WhatsApp us at 649-1300.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
The mayor of Georgetown, Alfred Mentor, met today with close to 100 workers from the Solid Waste and General Workers departments of the Georgetown City Council, who are at risk of retiring without their pension or any other benefit. The workers said they were told that they could face the hurdle because they are not on the municipality's fixed establishment and are therefore not entitled to those benefits. The city mayor met with the affected workers one day after a small group lodged a complaint with the Ministry of Labour. It was explained that despite serving the council for many years, the municipality has failed over the years to transfer the workers to its fixed establishment of workers, despite the court ruling that was handed down more than 5 years ago. Elton Williams, one of the affected workers, told reporters that various councils have been dragging their feet on the issue, which has grave financial implications for the affected workers.
Some of us have worked over 20-something years and change, and it's unfair for us to have all those years of service, and when we come off, we can't get no pension.
According to the council, in order for the workers to be placed on the fixed establishment, a worker must be 45 years or younger in order to receive pension from the age of 55. But Williams said for the affected workers who have been pursuing the issue for a number of years without any resolution, it would be unfair for the municipality to now implement that rule when it has failed to enforce it in the past.
5 flood, up to now, man still torn in a happy hospital, but it's a life. We were there while they were home sleeping. Mandela Dam site, we were there protecting the city while they were home sleeping. Garbage crisis, we were here there while they were home sleeping. It's unfair for us not to get pension when we come off. It's wrong.
Another worker told reporters that based on the rule, he would no longer be eligible to be placed on the fixed establishment, but that is no fault of his.
The 6 years I work with the council, and for knowing that people come on and spend 10 years and going for the fixes on free. And when this thing me passed, it was for like 41 years old. Now it's 46. So I can't go for the fixes where they put it as. So it's like I just working for council for like shy mini kind anytime.
In a telephone interview with News Source, the city mayor, Alfred Mentor, said hundreds of workers in all 8 of the departments within the Georgetown City Council could be affected, and he intends to review the court order with the hope of resolving the issue.
So now I ask that I get that order. I will look at it. I will seek to see what options are available in law to be able to deal with the issue. But we've identified someone from the persons who are complaining about this issue to lead that process with 2 or 3 other persons so that we could treat with it and have a permanent solution to see how we can rectify. But I can only base it on the order. And if the order was in place to allow for this, we will then be guided by that order, which will give them the option of being placed in a fixed establishment since then. But there will have to be some other payments and some other adjustments that would have to be made based on their contribution towards being on the fixed establishment as again being on the unfixed.
The mayor said during the course of the week he will be meeting with the other affected workers from the other departments to hear their views on the matter. Tonight, emergency works are ongoing at the Demerara Harbor Bridge after a small vessel slammed into 2 pontoons at the bridge early this morning, damaging a number of anchors and buoys. There was no damage to the structure of the bridge itself. The bridge has been operating as normal as the repair works are being carried out. The incident occurred at around 5:30 this morning, and the emergency crews rushed to the damaged section of the bridge and began repair works almost immediately. The works are ongoing tonight. Minister of Public Works Juan Edgel told News Source this evening that the bridge has been retracting with no issues and continuing its routine functions as the repairs are being done to the damaged equipment attached to the bridge.
They expect what they normally would have, the double lane. Everything is operating as normal. We have to fix anchor block and so on the river bed, not anything on the structure of itself right now. I'm saying we have to fix the anchor block and the buoys on the riverbed. The vessel didn't get to actually hit the bridge, you know. It collided with the pontoon and the anchor blocks that hold the bridge.
And of course, the workers at the bridge, I understand they've been carrying out these repair works since this morning.
Yes.
Is there a timeline as to when they might complete those works?
I can't say that right now. I have left out of town for most of the day. But as far as I'm aware, we had a retraction which would have allowed for vessels to pass, and the bridge is in such a way that vehicular traffic continues to pass.
The vessel MV Princess Anissa was transporting a cargo shipment at the time of the incident. It is suspected that the crew of the vessel might have fallen asleep, allowing the vessel to drift towards the bridge, causing the damage. An investigation into the incident is ongoing tonight. In the courts, the 2 senior members of the Guyana Defense Force who were arrested last week after they were allegedly found in possession of 154 pounds of marijuana in a military vehicle were charged and remanded to jail on Monday. The 2 non-commissioned officers, Staff Sergeant Adisa Higgins and Sergeant Calvis Sam, appeared before Magistrate Sunil Scarce at the Dama Magistrates Court, where the charge of possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking was read to them. The court was told that the 2 were nabbed on the morning of the 18th of July at Land of Canaan with a large quantity of marijuana in a vehicle belonging to the Guyana Defense Force. The 2 accused were based at the GDF's Camp Iron Ghana headquarters. The magistrate refused to grant bail to the 2 GDF members and remanded them both to custody until the 12th of August, when the matter will continue. Staff Sergeant Higgins was represented by Attorney Bernard De Silva, while Sergeant Sam was represented by Attorney Patrice Henry. In a statement last week, an embarrassed Guyana Defense Force said the incident is an anomaly and does not reflect the character and dedication of the men and women who continue to serve in the GDF.
Hey Guyana, are you ready for an African explosion of culture as the African Culture and Development Association ACTA hosts Emancipation Festival 2024, featuring premium cultural acts from top Guyanese groups, South America, the Caribbean, and around the world. Come, let's celebrate the culture of our forefathers with African food, history, fashion, innovation at Guyana's biggest cultural festival. August 1st in the National Park. Gates open at 10 a.m. See you there. Harambe, we all pull together.
calling all small to large scale businesses. The International Building Expo 2024 is coming to the National Stadium from August 8th to 11th, 2024. Whether you're a small business or a major player, there's a package for you starting as low as $20,000. Network with industry leaders, boost your brand visibility, and generate high quality sales leads. Register now at www.buildingexpo.gy. That's www.buildingexpo.gy, or call 592-635-1103 or 592-635-1104.
Oh no, oh. Welcome to Building Expo. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh.
Be another car, or is it a house?
If you're looking for sweetness to put inside a basket, I am the Blinken market.
Get ready for the 3rd edition of Blankets and Baskets on August 4, 2024.
The Maltino's ground comes alive with Guyana's best entertainers and a vibe that can't be matched.
Come for a chance to win numerous prizes,
including the grand prize of a... Tickets are $6,000 with other special luxury packages
from $40,000 to $120,000.
It's the Blankets and Baskets Extravaganza.
For more information, check out Blankets and Baskets on Facebook.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
NYC, New York City. Get ready as the original Big People Party with the same vibes you've seen and loved comes to you this Labor Day weekend on Saturday, August 31st with some of the biggest one-man bands out of Guyana and New York. Look out for Super A, Murphy, Busta, and Super Terry. Big People Party! Along with the legendary Glenn Washington.
Baby, don't take my kindness for weakness. If loving you is wrong, I don't wanna be right.
Glenn Washington and his band at Industry City, New York City. Get your super early bird general tickets at $40 and VIP access $150 all inclusive, and all are available at hjexperience.com. This event is brought to you by Hits and Jams Entertainment, Marvelous Entertainment, and GD Events. It's the original Big People Party at Industry City, New York City on Saturday, August 31st, the big and proper edition.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall in the region. The U.S. envoy to the United Nations announced tens of millions of dollars in aid for Haiti during a visit a month after the first contingent of Kenyan police arrived as part of an international security mission aimed at tackling gang violence. According to Reuters, the $60 million in humanitarian assistance announced by Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield while in Haiti will support the country's people and alleviate suffering caused by gang violence. It will fill critical gaps in nutrition, food security, and shelter, and improve water and sanitation services, among other support. The U.S., through the Department of Defense, also will provide a significant number of mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles to the international security mission. The State Department also intends to procure additional armored vehicles to assist mission personnel. Let's tell you now that protection of Brazil's indigenous communities from violence by land grabbers and ranchers was insufficient in 2023, according to a report published on Monday, dashing hopes that the situation would improve under President Luis Lula da Silva. The Missionary Council for Indigenous Peoples, CIMI, an organization of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Brazil, said the Lula administration's first year in office showed contradictions in its indigenous policy and disappointing advances in the recognition of ancestral land claims. While Lula's government resumed the enforcement against illegal invasions of recognized ancestral lands, there were 208 murders of indigenous people last year, mainly with gunshots, compared to the previous highest number on record of 182 murders in 2020, CIMI said, citing data from the Brazilian Health Ministry. The president's office did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment. CIMI reported the involvement of police in private militias that are being investigated for indigenous deaths. The police act as escort for farmers, sharing information and supporting attacks against some indigenous communities, according to the report. And finally tonight, international news. Vice President Kamala Harris campaigned in the critical battleground state of Wisconsin for the first time as a presidential candidate today, after securing enough Democratic delegate support to clear a path to the nomination. Harris has emerged as the Democratic candidate after President Joe Biden, 8-1, abandoned his re-election campaign on Sunday after weeks of calls from within his own party to end his bid, questioning his ability to beat former President Donald Trump or to serve for another 4-year term. Less than 36 hours after Biden endorsed Harris, she secured the nomination on Monday night by winning the pledged support of a majority of the party's delegates, who will determine the nomination, the campaign said. An official survey of delegates by the Associated Press showed Harris with more than 2,500 delegates, well over the 1,976 needed to win a vote in the coming weeks. Delegates could still technically change their minds, but nobody else received any votes in the AP survey. 54 delegates said they were undecided. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.